Good evening, visitors. Welcome to the Australian War Memorial's last post ceremony. My name is Linda Anderson, and joining us today from the Australian Army is Major Kushagra Cha. 2026 marks 125 years of dedicated service by the Australian Army and its predecessors. Today we remember and pay tribute to Corporal John William Freeman and welcome his family who are in attendance today. We welcome the veterans who have served, those that are still serving, and the families that love and support them. The live stream of this ceremony is made possible by the Returned and Services League of Australia and the RSL and Services Clubs Association. We welcome members who are watching the broadcast of this ceremony across Australia. During this evening's ceremony, wreaths will be laid at the base of the pool of reflection by family and visitors to the memorial. If you are able, please stand and join in singing the national anthem. Those who are able to do so, please be seated. The Australian War Memorial was the vision of Charles Bean, Australia's First World War official historian. Bean landed with the Australian troops on Gallipoli and stayed with them at the front through to the end of the war. The idea of this national memorial and museum came to him at Pozières, France, in the depths of the bloody fighting of 1916. Bean's idea was that this would be a place where families and friends could mourn loved ones in faraway places. It would also be a place that could help all Australians understand what these men and women had endured and what they had done for us. Bean's vision, to which we remain true, is best expressed as inscribed in the entrance to the memorial's galleries. Here is their spirit in the heart of the land they loved, and here we guard the record which they themselves made. Tonight we will read the story behind just one of those on the Roll of Honour, which lists the names of more than 103,000 men and women who have given their lives for us in war and on operations for more than a century. But first, we present a lament, Flowers of the Forest. Wreaths or floral tributes will now be laid at the base of the pool of reflection.
Today, we remember and pay tribute to Corporal John William Freeman. John Freeman was born on the 27th of May, 1946, in South Shields, England, to John Thomas Jock Freeman and Isabella Ford Welsh. Freeman's father, Jock, met Isabella in England during the Second World War while serving as a pilot in the Royal Australian Air Force. They married in July 1945. In February 1946, Jock was repatriated to Australia for demobilisation, leaving Isabella, who was pregnant, behind. 3 months after baby John's birth, Isabella and her baby sailed for Australia. When the ship docked in Sydney that August, Father Jock was there to meet them. John Freeman grew up in the New South Wales town of Mullumbimby. Over the following years, 2 brothers, Peter and Ian, and his sister Susan, were born. By the time John started high school, the family had moved to Sydney. He attended Drummoyne Boys High School, obtaining his leaving certificate in 1963. Outside of school, John Freeman enjoyed writing, photography, and playing squash. In March 1964, he began working as a clerk for National Mutual Life Association. Freeman joined the Citizens Military Force, or CMF, on the 16th of June 1965, serving with the 1st Division Intelligence Unit. He completed his subject courses for promotion in July the following year and was promoted to corporal at the end of that month. He started 2 months of full-time service with the CMF in February 1967, during which time he attended a battle efficiency course at Jungle Warfare Training Centre, Canberra. His full-time CMF service concluded on the 26th of April, and the following day, he enlisted at the Combined Recruiting Centre in Sydney. He enlisted for 3 years, but reverted to the rank of private. Having recently completed his battle readiness training, Freeman was not required to undergo basic training, and he joined the 1st Division Intelligence Unit. Warned for service in South Vietnam, John Freeman flew out of Sydney on the 12th of June and arrived in Vung Tau the next day. He joined Detachment 1, Divisional Intelligence Unit, operating out of Nui Dat, and the following month regained his rank of corporal. On the 14th of October, Freeman and other members of his unit visited an Army of the Republic of Vietnam intelligence unit in Berea, the provincial capital of Phuc Toi Province. In the early hours of the 15th of October, the 1st Australian Task Force headquarters at Nui Dat received a report from a South Vietnamese provost unit. They had found an overturned South Vietnamese military vehicle in a stream around 2 miles south of Berea. The driver, pinned under the vehicle when it rolled, had drowned. Soon after being discovered, the body was identified as that of John Freeman. An investigation into the crash was unable to find an explanation as to why Freeman was driving a South Vietnamese military vehicle in the early hours of the 15th of October, but the accident was probably caused by torrential rain rather than any enemy activity. John Freeman was 21 years old. His remains were repatriated to Australia and following a funeral were cremated. His ashes laid to rest in Northern Suburbs Memorial Gardens and Crematorium in North Ryde, Sydney. Freeman was the only member of the Australian Army Intelligence Corps to lose his life during the Vietnam War. His name is listed on the Roll of Honour on my left, among more than 500 Australians who lost their lives as a result of their service during the Vietnam War. His photograph is displayed today beside the pool of reflection. This is but one of the many stories of service and sacrifice told here at the Australian War Memorial. We now remember Corporal John William Freeman, who gave his life for us, for our freedoms, and in the hope of a better world.
Please stand for the reading of the ode and the sounding of the last post.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. Lest we forget.
We leave you this evening with the words of the memorial's founder, Charles Bean. Many a man lying out there at Pozières or in the low scrub at Gallipoli with his poor, tired senses barely working through the fever of his brain has thought in his last moments, well, it's over. But in Australia, they will be proud of this. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, that concludes the last post ceremony. On behalf of the director, staff and volunteers, thank you for visiting the Australian War Memorial today. We wish you all a very pleasant evening.